Hello guys, and welcome back to another Tweaker Man video. So in this video is the transformer to the Teac AG-790, and it's got this small circuit board connected to it which has around 6 electrolytic capacitors and 2 film capacitors, and we'll be replacing those today in this video. So let's get the camera on the tripod and we'll get going. These are the capacitors here. I'm replacing the 2 polyester film caps with 2 polystyrene film caps, which are better in a hot environment. So you can see the work that's got to be done. So we're going to get the camera on the tripod and we're going to start. So we'll start here by desoldering these electrolytic capacitors out. So using some braid to desolder the caps. As you can see in the other series of these videos that we're using flux and braid, it's the same process again. You all know how to do it, or you should do if you're into this type of upgrading. As I said in previous videos, some people like using the pumps. I prefer using the braid to get it off, to take out the older capacitors. And of course these capacitors are bent over the legs, so you have to get the soldering on and flick them up, but make sure that you hold it on there enough, because otherwise if you try to flick it up and there's a bit of solder left under, it will rip the pad up again. They are very fragile things. So here we've removed this capacitor, which is a 50 microfarad by 100 volts. There we go. And these are the Teac Jovial capacitors that I'm using to replace them with. I mean, I rate these. I've used them before. I think they're very good. They're still reasonably priced. They come out to around about, the small values are around about 82p each, but they're still double the price of the Nichicon or any other capacitors. Some of them, like the Panasonic FM, are very cheap, and they only work out to sort of 19p each. So these are quite a bit better. They're a niche thing again. They're made in Japan. So we're removing this cap again now. That one's come out. And that is 47 microfarad by 10 volts. Clean the pad up again. Then we're cleaning up the area with some isopropyl alcohol and a cotton swab there. You can see how much junk was on there. Some of that is the flux. When it burns, it goes that colour. So now we're going to be pushing in the 2 electrolytic capacitors in place. We'll get these in and then we can solder them off. There we go. These are the values. Now this is a really interesting upgrade for me. I know lots of people say, why are you upgrading rubbish equipment? But as I got the receiver for free, the upgrade's probably going to cost me around 300, I think. But don't forget, I'm going to have high-end sockets, IEC inlet socket. I'm going to have high-end binding posts. I'm going to have high-end RCA sockets, and everything's going to be wired up with silver-cladded copper wire, which you wouldn't get in this in its standard form. And with all the electrolytic capacitors are far superior to the ones that are in here. Plus, we've added film caps, and I can only see this becoming brilliant. Now, this isn't, as I said in the previous video, I'm going to be using this in my studio out there with a pair of speakers that I'm going to be building, and then I shall add I've got loads of DVD players, so I'm going to do a bit of an upgrade on one of those as well to the internals, and we'll be using that with it. And because the receiver's already got a tuner in it, that's why it's called a receiver and not just an amplifier. See, now we're cutting off the legs there. I seem to be going through quite a lot of these small wire snippers here. They keep breaking on me. I need to get a decent one, which I will. I'll have a look around and see what the best one is available. So we're cleaning up the area again there to get the flux off. There we go. Comes off nice and neat. Use a dry end just to dry it off. That's all nice and neat. So there's those two in. So I'm going to crack on and do the other four. Then I'll be back shortly. So here we have the whole six of these electrolytic capacitors, and now we're going to be replacing the film caps, the polyester film caps, with polystyrene film caps, which are quite a lot more expensive. They work out to around about they are exactly £4.50 plus VAT, where these and a lot of audiophiles rate these polystyrene caps, so they're exactly the same value. I will be desoldering these again and then fitting the other polystyrene film caps. I have used them before to great success. There we go. I'm having to flip these little legs up again, which is a tad annoying. You'd like to just be able to solder it, desolder it, and it comes straight out. But there we go. So here's one of those out, and we'll be doing the same with the other one. I should be able to get that up. Takes a bit of time. There we go. That one's out. So now we're going to turn it over. First of all, we need to clean the area up a bit. That's it, get all that gunk off there before we add our fresh flux and then put our new solder on. So I'm using like a lead-free solder, which is 7% 7% copper and 93% tin. So we'll be pushing both of these in. And once I've soldered these off, I'll be adding a little bit of black silicon just to hold them in place well, because the legs on these are quite thin, and we don't want them moving about. It's on the power supplies connected to the transformer here, so there we go. Turn it over now. Start soldering these off. So doing these videos in this format is you'll gradually get to see how the build's going on, and the videos are quicker, so they don't take up so much time, because I find long videos often bore people. And most of these upgrade videos I get don't get a lot of views, to be honest with you. And I don't do this channel for the views. I'm not interested in, I'd like the channel to grow, but it's got to be the way I want it to grow. And so here we're going to just cut these legs off again. As I say, I'm not in this for money. It's one thing I'm not. I just love doing audio upgrades and making cables and everything else, speakers. And I still haven't received the inductors in yet, although I'd popped over to Hi-Fi Collective today to pick these parts up, and they still wasn't in yet. Probably be another week yet, I think. It's quite a slow process. I think they have to build up the amount that they need to order as well first, then order it all at once. So we're just cleaning up the back of the circuit board now. Keep it going. So just getting the last bits of grime off the underneath. There was grime from the beginning. So here we have the board finished now. This board, it's very nice, come up well. I'm pleased with the way this has turned out. So here I've added some black silicone to the sides. So it looks really good. So that's the end of this video now. So thanks for watching another Tweaker Man video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a like, and don't forget to press that notification bell so you're notified each time I upload a